I was a 17-year-old Air Force cadet in Cambridge, England, and I had been awarded a flying scholarship by the RAF. That's the British Royal Air Force. I went to Marshall's Airfield in Cambridge, where I was taught to fly de Havilland Tiger Moths. These are 1930s open cockpit biplanes made from canvas stretched over wooden frames. One day, my instructor gave me the okay for my very first solo flight, but he warned me just before I climbed into the open cockpit, no aerobatics. I took off and was soon flying at 5,000 feet over the fields near the village of Bottisham. Despite the warning from my instructor, I decided to try a spin recovery. After all, I thought to myself, a spin recovery is not really an aerobatic maneuver. I raised up the nose of the plane, causing it to stall, and at the same time I kicked hard on the right rudder pedal. This caused the plane to drop into a spin. The Tiger Moth was no longer flying. Instead, it was spinning clockwise as it dropped towards the ground at 85 miles an hour. To bring the plane out of the spin, I followed my training and pushed the joystick forward as I kicked hard on the opposite rudder pedal. But it didn't work. I had simply converted the clockwise spin into a spin in the opposite direction. I was still heading straight downwards at 85 miles an hour. I knew I had only one more chance. I repeated the spin recovery, this time putting the Tiger Moth into an even steeper dive before I applied full opposite rudder. Success! I had converted the spin into a steep dive and the plane was now under my control. I pulled out of the dive into horizontal flight at a height of only 1,000 feet. Years later, I found out what had gone wrong with my first spin recovery attempt. I had learned the spin recovery procedure with my instructor sitting in the seat in front of me. His weight had helped lower the nose of the plane and pull it out of the spin. Without his weight, a much steeper dive was required for spin recovery. Did I panic when I was heading straight down towards a muddy field? No. I was strangely calm. I was much too busy flying the plane to panic. Did I learn from this experience? Don't be a smart aleck. Don't try to be too clever. Instead, heed wise advice from someone who knows.